So the earliest times I can remember was probably when I was around 4 years old. I remember being in Duncan Hills preschool. I remember they used to have these circle things. And it was two halves, and you had to put them together so that you can get inside of it and roll on the concrete. I remember urinating on myself. I remember like because they had like cots, like nap time between 12 and 1 or something like that. I can't remember specifically. But waking up, I'm waking up one time, there's a puddle under my cot. And then you go in the back room and you change, et cetera, et cetera. I remember one time I laid down the cot and I woke up and she like, well, you pissed on yourself. And I'm like, I ain't, I'm feeling myself like, yo, what you talking about, man? I ain't even pissed on myself. But I was a little kid, so I just went to the room to go change. And then later on, they found out that I didn't piss myself. She said, why you ain't say nothing? I'm like, I'm just 4 years old, man. I mean, you telling me I pissed on myself. I know I ain't pissed on myself. It's crazy, right? Um, yeah, my eyes hurt, so pardon the closed eyes, man. My eyes hurt right now. So I took an Advil already. It's not working that good. It calmed down a little bit, but it's still hurting me. So yeah, Duncan Hills. Uh, I remember being in kindergarten, and in kindergarten, my father, he pulled up behind the bus. He was parked. I can't say he pulled up. Let me say he was parked behind the bus when I came out of my. Oh, it was preschool, not kindergarten. It's preschool. When I came out of my preschool, he was parked behind the bus. And he was standing there like, hey. So, I ran to my father and I got in the car. And he brought me to some house. And then later on, he knocked on my mother's door. And before she could open it, he took off running. Now, you talk about a 4-year-old boy going through this and trying to make sense of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So for me to know that he had kidnapped me at that point in time is major because I could barely even spell or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So my mind was very aware of what was going on. So, yeah, I remember that. Then I started kindergarten, and the school was next door to us. It was across the street. And I still remember the first day. I still remember taking that picture, sitting on my mother's bed, me and my sister. I still remember that day. Before we had left, I had the cornrows in my head, the two cornrows, something like that. And so I started school. And in kindergarten, I had got jumped. I didn't even know what fighting was at that point in time, but I got jumped in kindergarten. My first time I can remember even seeing a fight. It was me. But yeah. So I gotta sneeze. Hold on. So I still remember that day I got jumped. I got jumped like twice in kindergarten or something like that. So, I mean, these kids, I didn't know what was going on. I'm talking about kindergarten, maybe 1984, 85. So these kids are mad at something. They're used to violence when I'm not used to violence. I'm 5 years old. I'm not used to violence. So I don't know. Me looking back at it right now, I'm not saying back then I could actually decrypt what was going on. But I'm saying me looking back at it right now, I say that that's when the crack era had hit, such and such, and they was left without their mother at home, and they was doing whatever in the house, flipping on stuff and cooking and hungry and stuff like that, and they just learned the ways of a hungry wolf. And I wasn't at that level. I was a mama's boy, first boy. So when that had happened, uh, I mean, that was that. I'm trying to remember specifics while I was young, but I can't remember that much as far as school goes. I remember being a monitor in fourth grade. I remember the art class. I remember I used to play Boggle in art class, and none of the kids wanted me to play because I would always win. So anytime we played Boggle, they like, "Don't you got homework?" So I had to go do my homework before I played Boggle. Um, and then that's when everything started to change. I mean, we went from wearing acid wash pants, tight acid wash pants, to baggy, saggy pants, all in public school from kindergarten to fifth. I mean, that's how fast everything had changed. You know, you went from wanting to be like Michael Jackson to uh, NWA or something like that. I don't know. I can't. I don't know if it's NWA specifically, but I'm just saying like that's like how when it happened. Uh, went from you can't rock no tight pants